Okay, hey everyone, my name is Vivi and I'm a senior here at Next. So a few things about me is that I take both in-person and online PSEO classes at Crown College. I play recreational hockey, my favorite color is pink, and my favorite animal is cows. Um, After graduation, I plan to pursue an athletic training degree through Cedarville University's 5-year master program. And I'll also be serving in the National Guard and participating in the ROTC program during college. But while those are things about me on the outside, they don't really tell the full story of who I am or what I've been through. So today I just want to share a little bit of my story with all of you. So I did not grow up in a Christian home. I grew up with a single mom who struggled severely with drug and alcohol addiction. I would regularly come home from school to her passed out on the couch due to drugs. Because of that, my siblings and I were often left to care for ourselves, to grow up faster than we should have, learning how to provide and survive on our own. Without even realizing it, nothing in my life felt stable. Nothing felt safe. Everything was chaos. Abusive, drug, and alcoholic influence relationships came in and out of our home, and over time, that became normal to me. Trauma and abuse weren't just moments in my life, they were a constant part of my story for a long time, which ended up forming an unhealthy mindset and environment. That being said, from a young age, I was taught that the ways of the world were okay. I didn't know anything different, so I let the world shape my thoughts, my beliefs, and my identity. And because my home life was broken, I started placing my identity in other people and other things, searching for love, validation, and worth, just trying to fill a void I didn't fully understand. When I was 8 years old, I was adopted by a family named the Smiths, and I lived with them until I was 16. But those 9 years were incredibly difficult. The home was unsafe, manipulative, and filled with negativity. There was verbal and mental abuse, and I often felt trapped, like there was no way out. I was treated differently because I was adopted. There were things I wasn't allowed to be part of, things their biological daughters could do without question. It was never said outright all the time, but it was always there. This quiet reminder that I didn't fully belong. Over time, that label of different started to stick. It wasn't just how they saw me anymore, it became how I saw myself. And slowly I began to believe that maybe I really was less or not enough just because I wasn't theirs in the same way. Something that was meant to reflect the beauty of adoption and the gospel was instead used in ways that deeply hurt me. And even now I'm still working through the pain from those years. When I was about 10 or 11, I put my trust in Jesus, and for a while I was on fire for him, but over time that faded. I drifted back into living for the world, and my faith became something I only lived out on Sundays and Wednesdays. And every time, without fail, living for the world left me feeling empty. On June 1st, 2024, everything reached a breaking point living with that family. I found myself in an extremely unsafe situation, and I knew I had to leave immediately, so I ran. I was scared, hopeless, lost, and felt completely alone. But in that moment, I called the family who had adopted my younger sister, and without hesitation, they dropped everything and came and got me. And that family is the Quiring family, who I now live with. They have been such a blessing in my life. From the moment they picked me up, they didn't just give me a place to stay, they gave me a home. They have shown me what genuine love looks like, not a perfect kind of love, but a consistent, selfless, Christ-centered love that I hadn't experienced before. They constantly point me back to Jesus in the way they live, the way they speak, and the way they care for me. They've been a safe place not just for me, but for my whole biological family too, and that's something I don't take lightly. They've opened their home, their hearts, and their lives in a way that reflects who Jesus is. Living with them has helped me see God differently, not as distant, but as present, caring, and personal. And through them, I've experienced what it looks like to be loved and guided in a way that draws me closer to Him. As I got older, I started to realize something. My past, trauma, loneliness, and abandonment didn't have to define me. Those labels weren't my identity. My past didn't get to define me. That being said, over the past few years, I've truly come to understand the gospel and the hope that only Jesus can provide. I've never felt closer to God, and I've started to genuinely let Him take control of my life. It's not easy, and I'm not perfect, but I'm growing, and I'm not who I used to be. I stand here not as someone who has everything figured out. I don't have all the answers. I'm not perfect. I'm someone who still struggles, someone who still falls back into sin patterns, and someone who is still healing. But I also stand here knowing that there's a God who is loving, who's forgiving, and who meets us exactly where we are despite our life circumstances. Tonight, I am wanting to be real. I am wanting to be open, authentic, and transparent. I'm not here to pretend. I'm here to point back to Jesus, because he is the one who took a story, my story, filled with chaos, pain, and brokenness, and is still in the process of redeeming it. As I look back throughout my life, there's been this pattern, moments that felt like the end, like there was no hope, no way out, but they never actually were. I have a tattoo that says, "Oh, but God," on my left wrist. And it's more than just words to me. It's a reminder that every sentence of my life that looked hopeless didn't end there. Where there was abandonment, oh, but God was present and by my side. When there was pain and abuse, oh, but God was protecting and sustaining me, even when I couldn't see it. Where I felt lost, unloved, and without identity, oh, but God was already writing a different story for me. Those 3 words remind me that no matter how dark something looks, God always has the final say. So when I look back on everything I've been through, my story isn't defined by brokenness, it's defined by this, oh, but God, and he can do the same for you. Thank you.